Hello, sports fans. This is the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker, your source for the sports betting industry 24/7. Sit back, relax, and listen as Mr. Bookmaker highlights what's happening right now in the world of sports. So, without further ado, here's your host, Art Eftekhari.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. Yes, it's me, Art Eftekhari. Really glad that you can join us. And before we get started, you know the deal. Get to our website as soon as you can. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. We got the links to all the best European, Asian, and United States friendly bookmaker sites, and our bookmaker guide is available for you to download, so hurry up and download it. Before we get to our A to Z sports betting lingo, make sure you check out our blogs that are available. Dan knows his cricket, and of course, Patrick knows his American sports. So please, show these gentlemen some support. They are working hard. And also, make sure you check out the Mr. Bookmaker football blog or soccer, depending on where you are in the world. All right, for our A to Z sports betting lingo, what is our concept or word for today? It is a pup tenter. Now, what is a pup tenter? Well, it's nothing to do with rounding up dogs in tents. Actually, it's a company that sets up shop for a season, then disappears with bettors' deposits. Wow, you know, that's definitely quite the term. So don't forget it, pup tenter. All right, as you know, NFL football is very exciting. The 2018 season has been pretty exciting so far. We've already gone through 2 weeks. In our last edition of the Bookmaker Podcast, I went over the teams that were favored to win the 4 divisions of the NFC. So today, I'm going to share with you the odds regarding which teams are favored to win the to win the 4 divisions in the AFC. And these odds are brought to you by Bovada, and that's www.bovada.lv. So let's get right to it. Starting with the AFC West, you got the Kansas City Chiefs with positive 130, followed by the Chargers with positive 220, Denver Broncos with positive 240, and the Oakland Raiders with positive 1400. Now, when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs, wow, they really are looking good right now. Patrick Mahomes is killing it, and right now I really cannot see any of the other teams in the AFC West challenging the Kansas City Chiefs for this division. And, you know, one thing with the Raiders, you know, going into this season, there were a lot of Raider fans excited. And you know why? You know, just because they brought back John Gruden? You know, I'm just going to leave it be right there. Next, for the AFC South, no surprise that it's the Jacksonville Jaguars, negative 160. They are basically the runaway favorites. The Texans with positive 500. You know, they have Deshaun Watson. He's a good quarterback. But right now it's got to be the Jaguars. Tennessee Titans with positive 550, and actually the Colts positive 500. No shock right now. Yes, it's only 2 weeks into the season, but you got to go with the Jags there. AFC North. Yes, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers with positive 130, favored to take the AFC North, followed by the Ravens with positive 240, Bengals with positive 215, and of course, the Cleveland Browns with positive 1600. And you know, the Cleveland Browns, they came so close to, you know, having a chance against the New Orleans Saints. I mean, you just have to wonder, you know, what is it with the kicking game? I mean, they lost 21-18. There was a few missed field goals. So, you know, you got to feel sorry and, you know, feel some sympathy for those fans of the Cleveland Browns. And what about the AFC East? Of course, no shocker here, right? It's the New England Patriots favored to take this division with negative 500. Dolphins positive 450, Jets positive 11, and of course, the Buffalo Bills positive 10,000. So if you're feeling limber, feel like making a gutsy wager, maybe you might want to put a wager on the Buffalo Bills to win the AFC East. You just never know what can happen. And before we continue, make sure you get to our website as soon as you can. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. You know the deal. I want you to take your love of sports to the next level, and that's why you got to get to our website as soon as you can. We have tips on how to register, bet, and withdraw. And like I said before, our Bookmaker Guide is available for you to download. So get to it, download that Bookmaker Guide right away. Okay, getting back to our agenda now. I'm still talking NFL football, and I'm still at Bovada. That's www.bovada.lv. Now for a couple of specials. Will Antonio Brown be traded before November 14th, 2018? If you want to place a wager on yes, the odds here, positive 900. If you choose no, negative 3,500. And I'm kind of surprised about that. I mean, are there rumors involving the Steelers wanting to trade wide receiver Antonio Brown? I guess I got to do my homework a little more, but I really could not imagine that taking place. The best wide receiver in the NFL, why would you want to trade him? But then again, Le'Veon Bell, he's been having a problem with the Steelers. They've been unable to give him the contract that he wants. And as for the other one, who will win the next Super Bowl? Will it be the AFC or the NFC? If you think it's going to be a team from the AFC, payout here shows negative 105. If you think it's a team from the NFC, payout here shows negative 125. And I must say, I am very surprised. I've been looking for all of these special bets, and there doesn't seem to be any involving the most obvious things that people would want to place a wager on. And for that, there has already been 2 ties in the first 2 weeks of this 2018 NFL season. There should be, an opportunity to place a wager on another tie, or how many more ties will there be in the National Football League? Come on, to all the bookies out there, what are you doing? Come on, do I need to go over there and tell you what people want to place wagers on? Well, if that's what you need, you know where to get a hold of me. But anyways, getting back on topic with the 2 ties, like I said, this is getting bad. And I think, you really got to go back to a few years ago and start realizing that, the NFL really isn't always making the right decisions. And look, for any of those people listening who really love college football overtime because there aren't any ties, well, you know what? College football overtime is a joke, okay? And if you want to argue with me about it, just go ahead, go to our website, find a way to contact us, okay? I'll be glad to hear your opinion. But look, go back to that, playoffs a few years back when Brett Favre was a member of the Minnesota Vikings. And it was the year the Saints won the Super Bowl, and the Saints defeated the Vikings in overtime. And then you had people saying things like, oh, it was kind of disappointing that Brett Favre wasn't able to get on the field, and the Saints won the coin flip, and they just marched down the field and kicked a field goal to go to the Super Bowl. And you know what? I don't care about Brett Favre needing some kind of special treatment. Growing up, NFL overtime was extremely suspenseful. Sudden death, first person to score wins, that was it. And like I said in our previous edition of the Bookmaker Podcast, changing overtime from 15 minutes to 10 minutes. We've already had 2 ties this season. And I think the more ties, the more upset fans you're going to have. Okay, so that's it for my rant on the ties. Now, there needs to be a wager available for, will another player this season retire at halftime of a regular season game, or maybe even before halftime of a regular season game? Yes, that happened with Vontae Davis. The Bills lost to the San Diego Chargers. Now, that was not late-breaking news, but Vontae Davis decided to retire at halftime. And, I just cannot understand why he chose to do this. Yes, he's saying that he felt like he shouldn't be out there anymore. Maybe something got to his head, or he realizes that he doesn't enjoy playing football very much. But this is all just so confusing to me. Come on. I could understand if you were a member of the Buffalo Bills that season where, it was after, losing 4 consecutive Super Bowls. Go back to that in the 90s. The Bills lost to the Giants, the Redskins, and 2 times to the Cowboys. 4 straight losses in the Super Bowl. So with that, my whole point is, I could understand back then if a player chose to retire at halftime. But come on, Vontae Davis, seriously, what's your deal, man? Retiring at halftime now? It's 2018. Finish out the season, or maybe have some decency, wait for the game to be finished. Well, that's pretty much my 2 cents there on ties in the NFL and Vontae Davis retiring at halftime. So with that, everybody, it's time to wrap up this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. I really do appreciate the support. Like I said before, get to our website as soon as you can. You know where to find us, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. Our Bookmaker Guide is available for you to download, so hurry up and download it. And also, make sure you check out Dan's Cricket blog and Patrick's American Sports blog. And also, do not forget to check out the Mr. Bookmaker football blog or soccer, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. We'll see you next time.
This has been the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please show some love by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Till next time, this is Mr. Bookmaker over and out.